edition of RWL Championship Wrestling is in Miami, Florida, our first show for the month of June. I'm Wally Cardill, and I'll be joined tonight by Don Hickson with tonight's match commentary. We've got 6 amazing matchups on tap for this evening, including 2 ladies' matches and a main event tag team match involving Lex Luger and Mr. Perfect against Rob Van Dam and Sabu.
That is going to be a main event match to beat the band, Wally. Let's get the card underway this evening with our opening contest with the trainer of the Canadian Cartel, Riley Flash, facing the tag team partner of Rage Television Champion T-Dog Tomasio, No Way Jose.
The following contest is set for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing first, representing the Canadian Cartel and accompanied by Golden Al Barnett from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, weighing 236 pounds. Here is Riley Flash.
The irrepressible Riley Flash, trainer/manager of Golden Al Barnett and Vic LaRue, the Canadian Cartel, going it alone tonight against No Way Jose, with Rage TV champ T-Dog Tomasio standing ringside. And boy howdy Don, what a climb up the ladder it's been for these two. About the only thing they're missing is a pair of matching tag team title belts, and you can be sure No Way Jose and the Dogster will be shopping around for some.
Accompanied by RWL Rage Television Tag Team Champion T-Dog Tomasio from the Dominican Republic, weighing 216 pounds. Here is No Way Jose.
Well, it has been a while since we've seen No Way Jose. When we do see him, it's usually in a tag team match with T-Dog Tomasio. But tonight, No Way Jose going stag one-on-one against Riley Flash in our opening contest. No Way Jose and T-Dog Tomasio working with the stable of Matthew James Ferrantino and bankrolled by Hangman Tex Lynch, general manager of Snarl, currently enjoying a brief vacation, which brings you here, Wally, with Myron Schimmelman as acting GM.
I told Tex not to worry, that we had this covered.
And we certainly appear to, Wally. And we've got this terrific card opener on Championship Wrestling tonight. Referee Willie Johnson rings the bell. No Way Jose scoop slammed by Riley Flash immediately. Riley Flash taken down by No Way Jose. Jose bounces him up, a double axe handle to the face, takes him down. Jose misses with a kick. Riley Flash with a right to the back. No Way Jose whipped towards the far corner. Jose counters and escapes. A fireman's carry from Riley Flash. Riley Flash with wrist clutch elbows to the side of the head. No Way Jose takes him down to the mat. He stands right back up, goes after Riley Flash. Counters, Flash delivers a jab that puts Riley Flash in the far corner. Riley Flash counters, Jose counters with a bulldog, slamming the face of Riley Flash towards the canvas. Riley Flash counters with an elbow, a clothesline, takes down No Way Jose. Now Riley Flash beating the noggin of No Way Jose against the mat. A gut wrench suplex from Riley Flash. T-Dog Tomasio standing ringside trying to rally the fans here. Inverted atomic drop from No Way Jose and a German release suplex. A nice follow-up from No Way Jose. Also rallying the fans here in Miami. No Way Jose hangs Riley Flash up over the top rope, midsection. A kick, a counter from Riley Flash, and a one-arm takedown of No Way Jose. Jose being set up for a neck breaker. Riley Flash executes it, jumps over the top rope, makes his way to the top turnbuckle, successfully draws a knee into the chest of No Way Jose. And look at this, Riley Flash gonna try it a second time. Cross-body splash with a cover. 1, 2, only a 2 count. No Way Jose back up on his feet. Riley Flash right there. Catches a couple of shots from No Way Jose. They lock up, they tussle. Riley Flash shoves Jose back. Jose counters with an arm drag. Riley Flash counters Jose. Again, wrist clutch elbows to the side of the head of No Way Jose, and he falls down. Riley Flash already beginning to be quite a bit fatigued, but nonetheless trying to rally the fans for some support here. No Way Jose back up on his feet against the ropes. Riley Flash takes him down. Look at this. Slingshot halfway across, draped across the middle rope by the throat. Riley Flash countered by No Way Jose. Jose tries to get him up for a bear hug, but no dice. Riley Flash counters, drop toe hold, takes Jose down. Riley Flash really beginning to exert himself. No Way Jose makes his way back inside the ring. Here comes Riley Flash right after him. Whips Jose to the far corner. Riley Flash moves in slowly. Sets up for 10 count punches. Riley Flash opening up here on No Way Jose. And the fans in Miami are definitely going nuts. No Way Jose counters with a right and a shoulder tackle that takes down Riley Flash, followed up with a stomp to the midsection. Look at this beautiful suplex from No Way Jose. Golden Al Barnett trying to rally some support for Riley Flash at ringside here. A Russian leg sweep from No Way Jose. Jose misses with the stomp. Rounds up Riley Flash on the fireman's carry. And he's going for a little ride, takes him for a spin, follows it up with a face first into the canvas. Riley Flash back up. Jose with a beautiful arm drag. Riley Flash seated in the corner. No Way Jose rounds him up. Double axe handle. Whoa, wait a minute. The referee saying this one's over. Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 4 minutes and 45 seconds, the referee has stopped this match. Your winner by knockout, No Way Jose.
Wally Cardell, would you get a look at this? No Way Jose with an entourage out here celebrating his victory.
Don, I've seen lots of things working here, but this is the first time I've ever seen a post-match knockout party. No Way Jose puts out the lights for Riley Flash in tonight's card opener, a win by knockout. Lots more RWL Championship ahead when we come back right after this break. Last on Snarl, we saw Boston Connor of the Toxic Table squashed by Earthquake. Tonight, it's gonna be AJ Hawk's turn in the chamber, one-on-one against Mad Dog Mark McKay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next match is set for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing first, accompanied by Boston Connor, representing the Toxic Table. Hometown unknown, weight unknown, here is AJ Hawk.
Looks like Temusa Martino and the Hamburglar are back in town. The Toxic Table. And we were just talking about the desperation coming off these guys at Snarl. Tex called them superfans, desperate to be part of the show and desperate to fit in. But damn it, Don, this ain't the place. And I think Myron Schimmelman has booked this match against Mad Dog McKay to teach AJ Hawk a lesson to, like he did with Boston Connor and Earthquake.
If you spend any time at all around Myron Schimmelman, you will discover, Wally, he is very big on teaching lessons.
Opponent accompanied by Miss Morse X from Ithaca, New York, weighing 205 pounds, Mad Dog Mark McKay.
Wally, I really don't know what to make of Mad Dog Mark McKay, or indeed Miss Morse X, his valet. I talked to him about tonight's match against AJ Hawk, and he is not pleased to be facing a basic nobody, as he described him, a Z-lister. And he said, and I quote, "I don't put up with BS. That's woman's work."
That's McKay all right. no filter, no chill, just straight and varnished craziness from this hair trigger anti-hero. You just never know what that guy's gonna say. But turning our focus back to this match, Don, I really don't see AJ Hawk performing any miracles tonight against McKay.
I don't either. Mad Dog Mark McKay definitely arriving this evening in a mood, and certainly not pleased to be facing AJ Hawk.
Why should he be? McKay's locked it up with the likes of Ballarat Jack Jones, the Sandman, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Cruiserweight champ Gary Galaxy. Putting AJ Hawk in front of him is only gonna go hard for AJ Hawk.
No one can build a reputation or a career on one lucky win, which is what the Toxic Table's trying to do. The referee rings the bell. AJ Hawk opens up with a series of rights. He's got McKay by the throat, gets him up, slams him right down with a military press, misses with the double axe handle. McKay back up on his feet, spins him around with another hard right. AJ Hawk with McKay up over the shoulders into a submission, a torture rack. The referee checking it out, but no, McKay with a series of shots to the head releases himself from that situation. AJ Hawk whipped into the far corner, a knee to the midsection, followed up with a boot to the chest. AJ Hawk finds his way out of the corner. McKay escorted to the opposing far corner. AJ Hawk pulling on the arm against the ropes. Again, AJ Hawk smashes the face of Mad Dog Mark McKay into the turnbuckle. Now follows up with a very aggressive series of headbutts, followed up with a stomp to the chest. Mad Dog Mark McKay stuck seated in that far corner. He just came out, toppling face first to the canvas. AJ Hawk working on the arm, snaps the arm. AJ Hawk covers and hooks the leg. One, but only a one. Mad Dog Mark McKay finds his way out of the pin. McKay locks up AJ Hawk, whips him towards the far corner again, and a clothesline that takes down AJ Hawk. Mad Dog Mark McKay urging him to get back up so he can knock him right back down again. Decides on a heel hook stretch instead. AJ Hawk stuck center ring, laid out on the canvas, as Mad Dog Mark McKay continues to work on the leg of AJ Hawk. With Boston Connor standing on the outside, looking very concerned for his Toxic Table tag team partner, as Mad Dog McKay continues to work on the legs and follows it up with a rolling elbow. AJ Hawk, look at this, whoa! Mad Dog McKay taking them both down with that leap over the top rope, a high-risk maneuver, 2 for the price of 1 for Mad Dog Mark McKay. McKay rolls AJ Hawk back inside, takes himself to the top turnbuckle, elbow drop across the chest of AJ Hawk. Mad Dog Mark McKay already bleeding, but nonetheless in control of this match and of AJ Hawk. McKay locks up AJ Hawk, escorts him towards the far corner, head first into the turnbuckle he goes. AJ Hawk counters and escapes the corner, locks up McKay. Up over the shoulder, hung up on the top rope. Mad Dog Mark McKay down on the canvas. AJ Hawk follows up with a rolling elbow to the back. AJ Hawk starting to try and seize control of this match from Mad Dog Mark McKay. Off the middle rope. Whoa! Beautiful tackle right there. Here's a cover. 1, 2. A near fall. But Mad Dog Mark McKay powers out of the pin. AJ Hawk stalking McKay. Look at this. Drives in a knee, follows it up with a clothesline. Down goes McKay again. McKay rounded up. Gets locked up. Counters with elbows. AJ Hawk backs off. McKay sets him up for the pile driver. Oh my, look at that. AJ Hawk may be dead. Here's a cover. 1, 2, 3. No, he's not dead, but AJ Hawk is out to lunch.
is a win, whether you think the opponent worthy or not. And that's the case here, as another case of Markomania breaks out in the stands, with Mad Dog McKay wrapping up a J with just a little extra difficulty.
And we'll be right back with more RWL Championship Wrestling right after this. As we continue tonight on RWL Championship Ladies Tag Team Competition, up next with Nikki and Bree, the Bella Twins, facing Callie Parrish and the Silver Bullet Jody Howard, the Texan Ladies Association, managed by MJ Ferrantino.
The following ladies tag team contest set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first from Las Vegas, Nevada, Nikki and Brie Bella, the Bella Twins.
Always great to have the Bella Twins in action here in RWL, and Nikki and Brie are gonna present the former women's tag champs, the Texan Ladies Association. A serious run for their money, but I'm sure Callie Parrish and Silver Bullet Jody Howard are more than up to the challenge.
Every single one of these ladies a women's tag team champion, which means this is going to be an explosive matchup, Wally.
And this is just one of our two ladies division matches tonight. Coming up a bit later, Women's World Champion Dynamite Jeannie Parker will be in a non-title match against Dakota Kai. That should be an interesting one.
I'm looking forward to that one myself. The sexy soul sister of the squared circle never fails to entertain.
Their opponents accompanied by manager MJ Ferrantino from Baytown, Texas, Callie Parrish, and from San Antonio, Texas, the Silver Bullet Jody Haller, the Texan Ladies Association.
Young up-and-coming upstart MJ Ferrantino, with an ever-growing stable, is still in search of some additional talent. Already managing the Texan ladies, the Vandals brothers, the Texas Hangman, T-Dog and Jose, and Hostel and Dr. Zodiac. If this Whiz-Kid ever gets it fully clicking, he's gonna give the Stronghold a serious challenge.
Ferrantino certainly could be dominant, but the Stronghold has one thing that MJ Ferrantino does not have. Tons and tons of championship gold. That would give MJ Ferrantino some real credibility.
He's always scheming, forever on his phone with someone, so who knows? Maybe he'll hit on the right combination someday, but for now, he sure isn't positioned badly.
All right, it's going to be Brie Bella and Callie Parrish beginning the festivities here. As referee Tom Kanamura rings the bell, the ladies come center ring kick to the midsection from Callie, a slap, a chop, and look at this, a cravat suplex from Callie Parrish to Brie Bella. Brie rounded up. Callie Parrish with a stomp to the shoulder. Brie Bella slowly making her way back to a standing position. Callie Parrish with an arm breaker and into an armbar. Brie Bella not offering a great deal of offense so far. Callie Parrish going for a pin, 1, 2, and then, well, a near fall. That early on. Whoa! Did you see that over the top rope? She came spinning like a top. And down went Brie Bella. And now we're on the outside with the referee beginning the count. Callie Parrish spins Brie Bella around, has her up, and whoa! Countered by Brie Bella. Brie countered by Callie Parrish. Parrish rolls her back inside the ring. Brie Bella making her way to her corner. Here comes Nikki. Callie Parrish opens up with a series of shots to Nikki Bella. A gut-wrench suplex. And here comes Silver Bullet Jody Haller. Jody Haller with a knee from Nikki Bella. Counters with a kick. Jody Haller going for an immediate cover. 1, 2, another near fall for the Texan Ladies Association. Jody Haller smashes Nikki Bella's head in, and whoa, here we go. Here's the tag, and here's a double team punch from Callie Parrish. Nikki Bella catches a double chop from Callie. A shot to the back. Whip to the ropes. Callie ducks under. Goes behind. Whoa! What a full Nelson suplex from Callie Parrish. Manager M.J. Ferrantino, especially proud of the Texan Ladies Association in that ever-growing stable we were discussing. Callie Parrish with a submission on Nikki Bella. Stretching the legs and knees. Callie goes for another covered Walton. 2. And yet another near fall, but unable to put Nikki Bella away. Callie Parrish stalking Nikki Bella again. And here we go. Look at this. Rolls her into this submission. How about this right here? Brie Bella trying to come to the rescue, but no need. Nikki Bella escapes the hold herself. Drives a knee into the head of Callie Parrish. Parrish trying to get back to her feet, but no. Nikki Bella smashes her head into the buckle, and here comes Brie. Callie Parrish back to a standing position here. They lock up. Callie whipped to the ropes. Brie ducks under, makes the leapfrog, and nails Callie Parrish with a standing dropkick. Callie shoves her away both boots. A hard right that stuns Brie Bella. Look at this. Oh man, what a moonsault off the top rope to Brie Bella. Callie Parrish with a neck breaker. Callie steps out. Here comes Silver Bullet Jody Haller. The Texan Ladies Association working very effectively as a team. Jody Haller with a series of rights and lefts and an uppercut. Takes Brie Bella down again. Drives a knee into the arm of Brie Bella. Brie brought back to a standing position by Jody Haller. Jody Haller smashes her head into the turnbuckle. Whoa, a cheap shot from Callie Parrish. And a standing dropkick from Jody Haller. And here comes Callie Parrish on the tag. It's all legal now. They lock up, kick to the midsection from Brie Bella. Look at it. Whoa, whoa, what a clever move from Callie Parrish. Here's a cover 1, but just a 1 this time. Brie Bella may well be getting her second win here. Callie Parrish with the arm breaker and the arm bar. Working on Brie Bella. Callie Parrish dragging Brie Bella towards center ring. And now, smelling blood in the water perhaps. Here we go, one more time, rolls her into that submission. And here's Nikki Bella to save the day. Takes down Jody Haller. Callie Parrish again with the arm breaker and the arm bar on Brie Bella. Absolutely relentless. Determined to wear her out. And she just may have done it. Here's a cover. 1, 2, 3, and that is it. Nikki Bella too late. The Texan Ladies Association win this one by pinfall.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time 5 minutes and 42 seconds. Your winners by pinfall, Callie Parrish and Jody Haller, the Texan Ladies Association.
Well, there you have it. Chalk up another win for the stable of M.J. Ferrantino. Callie Parrish getting the 3-count pinfall over Brie Bella to bring this win home for the Texan Ladies Association.
The former Women's World Tag Champs battling back against the onslaught of the Bella Twins and come up with the 3-count pinfall for the win. Great teamwork from the TLA, and we've got more action coming up in just a minute. In recent weeks, we've seen tensions boil over between the short Popeye Scott Bell and Lars Sullivan. Bell is getting tired of Lars and his constant costly mistakes. Tonight, Lars Sullivan with a chance at getting it right against Latino Heat Eddie Guerrero.
Last chance Lars. Oh man.
for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing first the manager, Too Short Popeye, Scott Bell. From the Colorado Rockies, weighing 287 pounds, here is Lars Sullivan.
Lars was his own worst enemy in his last match against Tex McKenzie on Rage a few weeks ago, getting himself disqualified in what had been, up to that point, perfectly good match for Sullivan.
And man, did he ever get a talking to from Too Short Popeye after the match. Scott Bell had 2 words for Lars Sullivan, and they certainly weren't happy birthday.
Now, here comes along a chance to square things with Scott if Lars Sullivan can get a win, any kind of win, over Eddie Guerrero. It might appease the angry volcano god.
And indeed he has been. One angry volcano god has been Scott Bell, Too Short Popeye, as far as Lars Sullivan is concerned. And wow, these fans, these people aren't going to be appeased by Lars Sullivan no matter what he does.
His opponent, accompanied by the 9th wonder of the world, China, from El Paso, Texas, weighing 221 pounds, Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero.
He's the lionest, cheatingest, stealingest guy ever to do it. Eddie Guerrero and China making their way down, with Latino Heat facing a very big, very heavy Lars Sullivan. And Eddie's gonna have to think fast and move faster to keep out of Lars Sullivan's grip. Ordinarily, I'd put my money on Lars Sullivan, but he can't seem to keep out of his own way, and that could be all the edge Latino Heat will need.
Well, there is certainly no way these fans here in Miami are going to favor Lars Sullivan over Latino Heat Eddie Guerrero, especially with his good luck penny, the 9th wonder of the world, China, standing at ringside.
And who's Lars Sullivan got in his corner? The original Bad Luck Schlep Rock, Too Short Popeye, Negative King Midas.
And everything he touches most certainly does not turn to gold. All right, well, last chance Lars with a big-time opportunity here. Referee rings the bell. Lars Sullivan with a 2-handed choke lift on Eddie Guerrero. Eddie turns it into an arm drag, much to the delight of China. Guerrero winds up the arm on Lars Sullivan, goes behind, turns it into the hammerlock here. Lars Sullivan shoved away by Eddie Guerrero. Latino Heat whips Sullivan into the far corner. There's a kick to the midsection and a DDT. And a soccer kick to the side to Lars Sullivan, who rolls out of the ring. Rolls back inside for a reset. Latino Heat doing a little showing off here. Lars Sullivan can't seem to make... Oh boy, he's getting frustrated. Eddie Guerrero tags him one. He gets an elbow to the face. A clothesline takes Guerrero down on the outside as the referee begins to count. Lars Sullivan already provoked by Eddie Guerrero. A spinning heel kick takes Lars Sullivan down. Lars Sullivan with a right to the midsection. Eddie Guerrero with a couple of chops. Sullivan with a chop of his own. Eddie Guerrero counters, goes behind, moves in. What a beautiful standing drop kick. What elevation from Latino Heat. There's a stomp to the head. And a knee to the head of Lars Sullivan as we grow further and further away from the ring as the referee continues to count. Lars Sullivan catches a kick from Eddie Guerrero. A back body drop to Eddie Guerrero by Lars Sullivan. So, oh, look at this, time's up. Well, now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has counted out both opponents. This match is declared a countout draw.
Wow, it only took Lars Sullivan a minute and a half to throw this chance for a win right out the window. A double count out. This was completely avoidable, but Lars Sullivan and his poor impulse control gets the better of him again. And man alive, the Miami fans are really letting Lars Sullivan have it. Listen to that. They are hot.
Lars Sullivan We may very well see him booed out of the building tonight, Wally. Wow. Unbelievable error by Lars Sullivan. The fans will be... Whoa, look at this two-sword Popeye with a candlestick.
Holy hell, bell snapped.
Blocking. Lars Sullivan, oh my.
Lars Sullivan is down and out. Man.
He's letting Lars Sullivan have it. I do believe Lars Sullivan has just been given his termination.
Okay, I got a way important title defense coming up this month, and that means I need a tune-up match. And I wants me a piece of this Dakota Kai, who just swears she's gonna come in here and build herself a rep off the top stars in RWL. Comes in here, whips on our Triple Crown stars, and it took that raw cookie, Jody Dvorak, to whip on her sorry ass. I can almost understand why Jody whipped on her so hard. Well, hell's bells, whatever the Memphis Millionaires can do, Jeannie Dynamite can do it better. Dakota, I'll be seeing you soon. It's gonna be nice to meet you and beat you.
The RWL Women's World Champion Jeannie Dynamite, with her 84th title defense coming up fast, faces up and coming upstart Dakota Kai in a non-title scrap.
This next non-title ladies match set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, accompanied by Blair Davenport from Auckland, New Zealand, here is Dakota Kai.
Dakota Kai has appeared here and there, off and on, the last few years, but during this run, along with her pals Carmella and Blair Davenport, Dakota Kai has been stirring it up. With a win each over Patty Powers and Liberty Bell Danielle, but 3 and out against Women's International Champion Jody Dvorak. Despite Dakota Kai's recent run, she has surprised us already a couple of times, and in this non-title match, it's gotta be pointed out, Jeannie Parker hasn't been fail-proof in non-title single matches.
Her opponent, accompanied by Mr. Ringside Eddie Guns from Richmond, Virginia, the RWL Women's World Champion, the Queen, Dynamite Jeannie Parker.
Nobody has done or may ever do what Jeannie Parker will have done if she wins her next title match to retain the Women's World Championship. 7 years undefeated. It's the most uncanny win streak in RWL history, and Dynamite Jeannie Parker holds that distinction. Dakota Kai might have a chance, but it's slim as all hell.
We never say never around here, Wally. Although the Women's World Champion and 1/3 of the Ladies Tag Trio Champions with Les Femmes Fatales, Jet Williams and Mimi Emerson, is certainly heavily favored to win this matchup against Dakota Kai. The Women's World Champion, the Queen, the sexy soul sister of the Squared Circle, Dynamite Jeannie Parker, certainly being well received by the fans here in Miami. And Jeannie Dynamite will have Mr. Ringside of the Guns Brothers standing in her corner for this non-title matchup with Dakota Kai. Referee Walt Rothburn rings the bell. They lock up. Dakota Kai taken down with a shoulder tackle. Jeannie rebounds off the ropes but catches a pair of knees from Dakota Kai. A running low drop kick. A kick to the chest from Dakota Kai. Jeannie Parker, whipped to the far corner, dodges the knees. Jeannie, with a hard right, drops Dakota Kai. Follows it up with a stomp. The Women's World Champion, with Dakota Kai on the canvas, stalking Dakota here. Goes behind, drives a knee, follows it up with a clothesline. Down goes Dakota again. Jeannie Dynamite with a jab, a kick, look at this, all the way up, all the way down. Military press slam. Jeannie Parker up on the top turnbuckle, elbow right across the chest of Dakota Kai. Here's a cover. 1, 2. A near fall, but Dakota Kai getting that right shoulder up. Blair Davenport standing ringside for Dakota Kai. Look at this. She grabbed Jeannie Parker by the ankle. The referee should disqualify her right there. Here's a bear hug to Dakota Kai. Dakota fighting her way out of it. Succeeds in doing so. Blair Davenport grabbing Jeannie Parker's ankle. There's a kick to the midsection. Dakota Kai spin. Oh, nasty spinning neckbreaker from Dakota. And Dakota Kai has won several matches with that chiropractor finisher, those rolling knees to the back of an opponent. Look at this here. Whoa! Double boot stomp. On a second. And a kick to the chest. Jeannie Parker trying to get to her feet. A series of short kicks. And Jeannie Parker's face slammed to the canvas by Dakota Kai. Dakota again slams the Women's World Champion's face into the canvas. Really going to work on Jeannie Parker. Dakota Kai with a basement dropkick to the back of Jeannie Dynamite. Dakota Kai playing to the crowd. Jeannie back up on her feet. Blair Davenport debating whether or not she's going to get involved. Jeannie locks up Dakota. Dakota escorted to the ropes. Dakota Kai goes up and whoa! Is slammed into the ropes by Jeannie. Yanks by the ankle. Dakota Kai counters, gets back up. Jeannie Parker back on her feet as well. Jeannie whipped to the ropes. Dakota Kai, look at this, rounds her up and a kick to the chest. Dakota Kai going for a cover. 1. But no. The Women's World Champion back up on her feet. Dakota Kai whips her to the far corner again. Look at this monkey toss from Dakota Kai. Jeannie Parker catching another basement dropkick. Women's World Champion on the defensive at the present time. Hard right. Takes Jeannie down again. Dakota rounds her up. Look at this. Wow, Jeannie Parker took her down. And a German suplex. It happened so fast I didn't almost see it. An elbow drop to the chest from Jeannie Parker. Dakota Kai trying to make it to the ropes. No good. Jeannie smashes her knee into the mat. Misses with the stomp. Dakota Kai back up. Look at this. Blair Davenport introducing a chair, a kendo stick, into the mix here. Mr. Ringside Eddie Guns looking a little bit concerned here. Dakota Kai whipped to the ropes. And spinebuster from Jeannie Dynamite as the referee gets rid of that kendo stick. Jeannie rolls her over, covers 1, but just a 1. Only a 1 count. Jeannie Dynamite rounds up Dakota Kai. There it is, the hot kiss at the end of the wet fist, and down goes Dakota again. Jeannie Dynamite now seizing the advantage. Rounds Dakota Kai up. Drives a knee right into the face of Dakota Kai. Jeannie Parker countered by Dakota Kai. There's a series of kicks. Dakota Kai locks her up. Whips Jeannie to the ropes. Ducks under. Makes the leapfrog. Misses with the knee. Jeannie Parker goes behind. Nails her in the back. Whips her to the ropes. Dakota Kai going for another spine buster. Jeannie Dynamite covers center. 1, 2. But only a 2. Mr. Ringside Eddie Guns cheering on Jeannie Parker. Dakota Kai back on her feet. Walks up Jeannie. Another hard right forearm takes Parker down. And again, Dakota Kai trying to seize control of the matchup. Dakota rounds up Jeannie. There's a kick to the midsection. Rolls her over. But whoa, into a submission. The referee checking things out, but Jeannie Parker drives a knee into the side of the head of Dakota Kai. Runs, charges a kick to the face, drives Dakota into the corner. Dakota counters, escapes the corner. Kick to the midsection to Jeannie Parker. Dakota Kai, there it is, the chiropractor. This could be it right here. 1, 2, but no. Jeannie Dynamite powering out of this chiropractor. Dakota Kai indicating she has this match won as Blair Davenport loosens the cover on the turnbuckle. Dakota Kai charges, nails Jeannie Parker with that kick. Jeannie Dynamite making her way to her standing position on the apron. Dakota charges, shoulder tackle, takes down Jeannie Parker. Dakota Kai, Blair Davenport directly interfering, grabs a hold of the champ, rolls her back inside. She should be disqualified and ejected. Dakota Kai with a right to the side of the head. Dakota Kai whips Jeannie. Whoa, there's a, wow, what a power slam from Dakota Kai. Dakota with a series of kicks. A kick to the midsection, doubles Jeannie Parker over. Jeannie counters with a jab. Gets in that one shot. Dakota Kai counters, goes behind. Fires a shot into Jeannie's back, whips her to the far corner, delivers a kick to the side, and another. Dakota Kai countered. Jeannie Dynamite gets out of the corner. Oh, look at this. Guillotine leg drop to Dakota Kai. Jeannie Dynamite with another jab. Whips Dakota to the ropes. An elbow takes her down to the canvas. Jeannie Dynamite makes her way to the corner. Uh-oh, here it comes. Look at this. Takes the roll. There's a clothesline. And Jeannie, boom goes the Dynamite, and here's the cover. 1, 2, 3. That is it. Jeannie Parker defeats Dakota Kai by pinfall.
The time, 7 minutes, 53 seconds. Your winner, Dynamite, Jeannie Parker.
Okay, everyone saw that. Dakota Kai, again, trying to show out like she has before, but Jeannie Dynamite nipped her foolishness in the bud, and once Jeannie Parker took full control of the match away from Dakota Kai, well, that was just the end. The Queen racks up a non-title win ahead of her next title defense in about a week, and we will be back with the main event in a minute.
The Perfect Package, Lex Luger of Mr. Perfect, facing Rob Van Dam and Sabu, right after this.
Tonight's tag team main event sets to styles and to generations against one another as the Perfect Package, Kurt Hennig and Lex Luger, lock up with Rob Van Dam and Sabu.
Tonight's tag team main event set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first at a combined weight of 515 pounds from Robbinsdale, Minnesota, Mr. Perfect. And from Atlanta, Georgia, the Total Package Lex Luger, the Perfect Package.
Bobby Heenan, once again pushing the Perfect Package front and center. But tonight, it's a tag team main event against ECW Pioneers RVD and Sabu. Perfect and Luger can wrestle and they can brawl when they have to. But are they ready for the unorthodox style of Rob Van Dam and Sabu? This is gonna be a red-hot main event or gone.
Definitely gonna be an interesting mix of styles, Wally.
Their opponents at a combined weight of 456 pounds, Rob Van Dam and Sabu.
The Kings of Extreme, Sabu and Rob Van Dam, from a whole different school of thought, with a whole different way of doing things from Mr. Perfect and Lex Luger. But they match up enough to make this main event match, one for the books. Still, Luger and Perfect do hold a slight advantage in this one.
I'm giving the edge to the Perfect Package as well, Wally. However, if this match were being contested under no rules, the edge would certainly go to Rob Van Dam and Sabu. But it's a standard rules matchup, and Rob Van Dam and Sabu will just have to make up without chairs and barbed wire. And what have Sabu and Rob Van Dam got in store for Lex Luger And Kurt Hennig, Wally.
It's gonna be outstanding.
And in our tag team main event, it'll be Lex Luger and Sabu starting things off here. The referee rings the bell. They lock up collar and elbow. Lex Luger countered by Sabu. Tags Sabu with the right. Lex Luger with the arms wrapped around Sabu. But Sabu, double ear clap, backs Lex Luger off. Whoa! Lex Luger very agile, dodging Sabu's attack. Lex Luger pitches Sabu to the canvas. Sabu charges, takes him down with a leg sweep. Quickly going for a cover, one. But only a one. Lex Luger quickly getting the shoulder up. Sabu with a stomp to the shoulder of Lex Luger. Sabu biting the hand of Lex Luger, and here comes Rob Van Dam. The whole freaking show taken down by Lex Luger with a right. Luger with a double axe handle and a rolling elbow to RVD. Rob Van Dam rounded up by his throat and hurled halfway across the ring as Lex Luger steps out, and here comes Mr. Perfect. Kurt Hennig locks up Rob Van Dam, has him up for the vertical suplex, and down goes RVD again. Mr. Perfect going for the cover, one. Well, both teams working very efficiently in the early goings here. Mr. Perfect slams all his weight into the lower back of Rob Van Dam, follows it up with a rolling elbow to the same spot. Drives a knee into the arm of Rob Van Dam. RVD catches a knee to the back of the head. He rolls out of the ring for a second. Mr. Perfect turning his attention to Sabu. There's a hard right and an enziguri that puts Sabu out on the floor. Rob Van Dam takes advantage. A drop kick to the side of the head of Mr. Perfect. Rob Van Dam has him all the way up. Look at this right here. Military press drop into a moonsault from RVD. Rob Van Dam with a kick to Mr. Perfect. Follows it up with another to the back. Rob Van Dam opening up here on the Perfect one. Sabu coming in on the tag. Mr. Perfect charges. Beautiful wraparound neckbreaker from Kurt Hennig. Mr. Perfect drives a knee into Sabu's arm. Sabu catching another one from Mr. Perfect, who goes for the cover, but not even a one. Sabu quickly powering out. Sabu escorting Mr. Perfect to the ropes. There's a hard whip. Sabu ducks under. Look at this. Hurricane Rana. Whoa! And Mr. Perfect went flying. Here's another tag. Lex Luger comes in. They collide. Up over the shoulder. Into a torture rack right away. But Miss Sabu catching Lex Luger in the back of the head right there. Sabu with a hard forearm. Lex Luger shivers out. Here comes Rob Van Dam. RVD taken down with a shoulder tackle. Lex Luger delivers a kick to the leg of RVD. RVD with a sudden Hurricane Rana on Lex Luger. Luger whipped to the opposing team's corner. Sabu comes in on the tag, and here comes a double team. Luger whipped. Oh, whoa. Double shoulders, taking Lex Luger down. Look at this. Sabu wraps it up with a senton and a moonsault off the ropes. Sabu turns his attention to Mr. Perfect. Kurt Hennig hung up off the middle rope. Lex Luger takes Sabu down, follows up with a stomp and a rolling elbow to the back. Sabu trying to make his way back to a standing position. Mr. Perfect taken down by Sabu. Lex Luger swings and misses. Sabu back in the ring, goes behind. Lex Luger whips Sabu to the ropes. Sabu quick with the counter. Look at this, rebounds off the ropes and takes Lex Luger for a ride. A Hurricane Rana from Sabu, and well, Sabu has lost his patience with Lex Luger. And Sabu, with that parting shot, tags in Rob Van Dam. RVD moves in on Lex Luger. Look at this, pitches him to the outside. Rob Van Dam off the rope. Whoa, look at this. Whoa, misses that one. Crash and burn. The high-risk maneuver failing to pay off for Rob Van Dam here. Driven into the ring steps by Lex Luger. He's going to seize the opportunity at the failed high-risk maneuver of Rob Van Dam. Jumping elbow to the chest. A second as the referee counts. Lex Luger gathers Rob Van Dam up. There's a kick. Sets him up in the powerbomb position. Rob Van Dam says, no, I don't think so. Standing dropkick takes Lex Luger down. Rob Van Dam sets it up. Look at this rolling thunder on the outside. RVD returns to the ring. Tags Mr. Perfect a couple of hard right hands. Makes his way out onto the apron. Lex Luger out to lunch here. Oh, DDT head first into the apron from Mr. Perfect. The Perfect package looking less than stellar at the moment. Rob Van Dam locks it up with Lex Luger. Luger whips him to the ropes. Ducks under. Has him up. Whoa. Beautiful power slam from Lex Luger. An elbow to the top of the head of RVD. Mr. Perfect just getting back to his feet over there on the outside. Rob Van Dam whipped to the ropes. A clothesline from Lex Luger. Takes RVD down. Rob Van Dam gathered up over the shoulders again. Lex Luger with the torture rack. Sabu breaking that one up hot, quick, and in a hurry. Lex Luger debating who he's going to go after. Decides to go after Rob Van Dam. The legal man in the ring. Up over the shoulders. Running power slam. RVD. Lex Luger covers. 1, 2. Very close to a near fall, but Rob Van Dam getting that shoulder up. Lex Luger rounds up Rob Van Dam into the corner, and here comes Mr. Perfect. And here comes a double team. Double X handle to the arm of RVD. Rob Van Dam locks up Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect counters, goes behind. Chop block takes RVD down. Rob Van Dam crawling his way to the corner. Here comes Sabu on the hot tag. Here comes Sabu. Look at this. Whoa, what a neck breaker from Sabu. Here's a cover. 1, 2. Almost a 3. What a neck breaker from Sabu on Kurt Hennig. Sabu rounds him up. Little short power slam right there from Sabu. Sabu rounds up Mr. Perfect again. Hard whip to his team's corner. Here comes Rob Van Dam. Hard shot to the midsection from RVD. A counter kick from Mr. Perfect. Swing and a miss from Mr. Perfect. Rob Van Dam with a suplex. And here's a quick cover. 1, 2. Oh! That's it. It's over. RVD and Sabu win by pinfall.
The time of the fall, 8 minutes and 48 seconds. Your winners, Rob Van Dam and Sabu.
RVD and Sabu, the Kings of Extreme, pulling off a little bit of an upset win tonight against the Perfect Package, Kurt Hennig and Lex Luger. RVD and Sabu looking definitely very, very proud of themselves. What a card it has been. Wally Cardell, thank you so much for joining us tonight and lending a hand. I appreciate it.
Anytime, Don. All right. That's this edition of RWL Championship Wrestling. Thanks to all of you for watching and following RWL. Our next RWL card will be RWL Rage from Fort Lauderdale. Johnny Bianco and I will be there. Until next time, for Don Hickson and myself, same